Hello everyone, Father Lamb here, and it's Wednesday, January 29th. A little late today getting out the video. I'm kind of fighting a little bit of a cold here today, so we're just kind of delayed a little bit. But anyway, the good news is the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. How about that, huh? Woo-hoo! All due respect to all of our Kansas City fans, I have great respect for Andy Reid, but I think you guys have wanted enough. I think it's time for the Eagles to pull it in. Anyway, I was thinking about that. Maybe you heard the story about the guy who just went to the Super Bowl, and he's at the Super Bowl. A lot of excitement, and the seat right next to him's empty, and then there's a woman sitting next on the other side, and the game's just getting ready to start, and the guy turns to the woman over there and says hello, and he goes, what's with the empty seat? And the woman said, well, she said, for years my husband and I have been coming to the Super Bowl together, and unfortunately he died. And the guy was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm really sorry to hear about that. And then a few seconds later he says, well, couldn't you get somebody from like your family or some friends or somebody to come to take his place there? She said, well, I tried, but they all wanted to go to his funeral. It's not a sin to laugh at that, okay? But the truth is, sometimes we talk about sports being like a way of life. You learn a lot about life in sports, and that's true. You learn teamwork. You learn sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You learn how to work together. Sometimes it's you do all your best and you still don't win the game. So you deal with disappointment and hard work, all that good stuff. So when we think about the Super Bowl and being kind of like the game of life, maybe we can picture that entire stadium, okay, and to ask ourselves, like, where am I in this, game of life? Am I outside the stadium? I'm not even in the game. Am I outside the stadium, having a little pregame party, having a couple of beers, eating some, hamburgers or whatever, Or am I in the game? And if you're in the game, if you're in the stadium, I should say, where are you? You up in the nosebleed section, like way far away, Are you down on the 50-yard line, Maybe you're running one of the concession stands, giving people something to eat, Maybe you're one of the refs, you're going to be calling the game. Or maybe you're one of the broadcasters and you talk about the game. You're not in the game, not playing, but you get to talk about the game of life, you see. And you go through there, and some people are cheerleaders, right? Some people cheer others on, but there's only so many people that can really play the game in the game of football, right? You got to be a really good athlete. You got to work really hard. You have to have a little bit of luck, staying healthy and things like that. But they are sort of the elite. They're really, really good players. So you might say, well, I'll never be in that game. Well, in that sense, no. You might not be a player on the field. But my brothers and sisters, we're all in the game of life, if you will. God has a purpose for your life and for my life. And some people, sadly, go through their whole lives and never find out what their purpose is. And maybe a purpose of someone is to be the quarterback of some great team and do a super job. That's all good. But a lot of us are just sitting in the stands, but we still have a role to play. Somebody may be someone who's working a concession stand, helping someone to eat. Somebody else might be pushing someone along in a wheelchair, trying to get them to their seat as well. So what's your role in life? What's my role in life? We all have one. And like the good news is, we don't have to do any of this perfectly. And that's one of the beautiful analogies of any sport, because you think of the game of football. Just like us, sometimes you fumble. Sometimes we screw up. Sometimes you get hit hard. Sometimes life is hard. Significant losses. Someone dies that you love and they die suddenly. That's a tough hit. What do you do after that? Sometimes you throw an interception. Sometimes things don't go your way in life and you wonder what's going on here. Well, what's a football team do? That happens. You huddle up. You get together in a huddle, okay? Close quarters, baby. We're here and we're going to talk in secret. No any other team's going to know this, and here's what we're talking about. And sometimes in the game of life, we've got to huddle up with other Christians. And the best thing we've got to realize is the person that we need in that huddle is Jesus Christ. If he's not in the huddle, we're not going to do as well. And a lot of people huddle up without God and try, and it doesn't go too well out there. So if you're going to huddle up, make sure Christ is in that huddle. And that's really what prayer is. Jesus, come into the huddle of my life. And do I have some close Christian friends that I can share my faith with? Because it's hard to walk this faith alone. It's almost impossible. One person on that field couldn't fight against 11. They would certainly lose. They need a whole team, right? And you and I need our Christian team, if you will. We need people in our lives who think the way we think, those who have Christian values, those who are serious about their relationship with Jesus Christ. So as we look forward to enjoying the Super Bowl, and it's all fun and it's all good stuff, let's go deeper. Too often in our lives, we live life on the surface. And what brings us down to the depth of life, my brothers and sisters, is pain and suffering. And I don't like it any more than you do. It's just, this is the way life is. Let's face it. Because if we don't face this, what happens is you and I would spend the rest of our lives living life on the surface as very superficial people, going from one distraction to another, which is so easy, and then we die. What pain and suffering does is it makes us look at life more deeply. Can I continue to believe in a God who loves me while there's pain and suffering in my life? Am I willing to go deeper into this? And that involves the cross. That involves walking into Gethsemane. That involves being with Jesus Christ when he said, Father, take this cup from me, but your will, not mine, be done. Am I willing to do that? And it's hard sometimes because you get discouraged. And that's why we need each other. That's why we need to huddle up and say, you know what? I'm all in this game of life with Jesus Christ. Because it's either all in with Jesus or it's living in meaninglessness out there. Because that's what's out there. Chaos, meaninglessness, sin, corruption. You know the drill. A lot of evil. Let's commit ourselves as we get ready for this Super Bowl game and have some fun with it. Let's commit ourselves more deeply to our faith. Who are the people in your life that God's brought into your life who support you? Who do you huddle up with? They are a gift, man. Just thank God for them and thank them for them that they're in your life. And make sure when you huddle up that Jesus Christ is at the center of that huddle. God bless you.